Okay, last episode we cut our pieces, glued them all together, lasered, engraved our scale pattern and gill plate and fin and everything. Now what we can do, we're going to go ahead and separate these pieces because we need to add in the weight and our little rattle system. Boy, that tape really did a number there. It's the first time I've ever had that happen. Probably glue that back in place. And there we go. Pretty juicy looking. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue that little piece back in place there. And I've got the lead pot heating up, so we'll go in and add some lead to our spots. I have not made a bait this size yet, so we'll see if I need to end up drilling another hole and adding a little bit more weight. I don't know until we get it into the test tank, so we just need to go and add the weight, and then we can glue the rest of it together. All right, with our weight poured, there is a couple things I want to do on the inside. One, the big oval cutout here is for a little rattle chamber. So I was cutting some little pieces of aluminum, which just came out of an old soda can, that we're going to put in there to try to increase the sound of the rattle so the little BBs have something to hit off of. So I need to cut one for the other side, and then I was going to two-part resin glue those in there, that way they never move. Second thing was a couple of these I had poured. Actually, this one looks okay. There's just a little bump there, a little too thick because it's not letting it close all the way. I got a little bit of a gap there, so I'm just going to file those parts down, whatever's sticking out above. Yeah, see how much that one's sticking out. There we go, that's better. There we go, that looks better. Got to glue in our little rattle deals there. So all I did was took the cutout from the laser file there, and then I got a little piece of aluminum from an old soda can. And this is just part A, part B, multi-part epoxy glue. This one keeps wanting to bend up on me, so I'm going to clamp this just like that to kind of help hold it in place. This one seems fine, but maybe I will go ahead and do the same thing just to be safe. Make sure it's pressed in there nicely. Okay, so all we gotta do now is let that cure, and then we'll come back and glue all the wood pieces together for the last time, and then we'll be able to finish shaping at our joints and all that fun stuff. I think on this one, I'm just gonna use some normal BB gun BBs. Whoop, that might be too many. I'm gonna go for 3, see what that sounds like. Oh yeah. Now as long as whenever I glue these together, I'm going to try to keep the glue away from that part so it don't squish in there, and keep them from rattling around. Some point I want to make like an actual little chamber and insert I can just put in there, so then I don't have to worry about the glue stopping them. But that would be cool if it was that loud once it's all glued. Now this was last night whenever I glued the metal inserts in there. So this is the next night. So I can't remember what all I said yesterday. But in case I didn't, I don't know if this is going to be enough weight. So what I plan on doing is we'll get everything glued together. We'll finish shaping where the joint's going to be. And then I'll seal the wood. And if it floats and it would work as a topwater bait, we can leave it that way. But if I want it to sink, I might drill another hole right here, and then we'll add just a little bit more weight up in the nose. So I haven't made one this exact size, so it might need a little bit more weight than what I've got in there currently, or it'll be perfect. So we'll find out together on that one. So I will go ahead and get these sections glued together. No. That's a first. I've never dropped it scale side down before. So mostly due to how much time I have tonight, I think I'm probably just going to let this sit overnight again. Otherwise, I'm going to end up staying up way too late tonight if I let this sit for a half hour, 45 minutes, and then try to sand it. So tomorrow night, I'll come back again, and then we can finish shaping our joints and then seal the bait. So we're real close to being able to test this bad boy in the tank and see how she swims. So I will see you guys in a few seconds. Okay, it is finally time to unclamp these for the last time. I was a little exhausted to come out in the shop last night, so this has been sitting for 2 days. So we've had more than enough time for these pieces to dry and still have our rattle, so that's a major plus. Okay, things are looking good. What I need to do now is I'm going to sand the inside of this, do a nice little curve on the inside, and then we'll need to take this front half of this piece and the front half of this piece over to the belt sander, and we'll just kind of round these edges over. I'm going to try doing a minimal rounding on these, and we're going to see how that swims, and if I need to, we'll shave some more off. But I'm going to try to do minimal sanding here and keep it simple. But I am going to start off with the Dremel tool and just kind of carve out a little channel here, and then we'll come in with got a dowel rod with some sandpaper wrapped around it that we can use to make sure it's even all the way across there. All right, I think I got enough of a channel started that the dowel rod will work. I just wanted to make sure I had something that this would sit down into. That way we get nice even sanding. And I don't want to use a Dremel tool the whole way because I don't think I would be able to keep it straight. So that's the point of the dowel rod with the sandpaper. All right, I'm gonna call that good there for now, and then we'll see see if we need to take it back a little bit more later or not. I gotta do the same thing on the back half of this piece. And now we can move over to the belt sander and round over the front half of the middle piece and the front half of the tail piece. I think I decided I'm going to do the rest of the sanding by hand. It's way too easy to screw that up on the belt sander. If you guys remember on the glide bait, I did that on this side. It's supposed to look kind of like that, and then I really chewed it up, and I do think that makes it swim a little bit funky because one side goes further than the other. Also, ended up drilling out almost all the weight in this bait. I started patching it. More to come on the glide baits here soon once I get it dialed in a little bit more. I had a couple people asking about them or they wanted to see more on them. I am still playing with them, and I think we're real stinking close. There's a couple things I figured out with the joint and then with the weight on number 3 here. So more to come on the glide baits, but right now we're playing around with the swim bait. I'm just going to use a Dremel tool and then some hand sandpaper and kind of round this over the rest of the way. That way I don't chew up all of our pretty hard work on the belt sander. I like to take the sandpaper and put it between my fingers like this. So then whenever I push on it, it's kind of hitting both sides at the same time. That makes sense. Real hard to hold it at that angle, but okay. I think we're good to do a test fit here. But I think I left my drill inside, so I gotta run inside and grab that real quick. I will be right back. Okay, drill acquired. All right, I'm going to go ahead and dry fit all these. And the other thing I'm going to do, the pin I'm using, I think is a little bit thicker than that hole. So I think I'm going to drill out the hole a little bit more. That's the one part I don't like, is this little bitty piece right here is what's holding the top of that pin in. So if there's pressure going that way, that's a lot of pressure on that one spot. So something in the future I might have to upgrade. But so far, knock on wood, I haven't had one of them break due to a fish. The only thing I've done is broken something by hitting it on a rock, like casting it up onto the bank. All right, let's see what the first test fit here looks like. Looking promising. I think I can probably tighten that back one a little bit more. But folks, that's looking pretty juicy. Starting to actually look like a bait. Kind of like how much that tail moves like that. Maybe we'll tighten it just a little bit. I got a little bit more sanding I want to do up here where the joints were. But I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is seal the wood with some clear coat. I think I'll do this little piece separate. Just some normal rattle can spray clear coat. That way we can try to test the bait tonight. I'm real curious want to see how it swims. So I figure I'd go ahead and seal it a little bit, and then we can test swim it, and then I can come back in, do my final sanding, seal the bait really well, and then we can paint. So I'm going to do that, let that dry, and then I got to make a tail too. If you've not seen my video on how to make a tail, I can have that linked in the description below. I'm just putting a little dab of glue in there. Kind of hold this while we're testing it, and then I'll pop it back out of there whenever I paint it, and then we'll do a 2-part resin epoxy to hold it in whenever we're done with it. But I'm really itching to test this thing, see how it swims. While I was making that tail, I did spray the bait with some little bit of rattle can clear coat, just a matte finish to kind of keep that water from soaking in there too much. I probably won't paint it for a couple days, so if it does get a little bit of water or moisture inside, I'm not worried about it. It should be dry by the time I go to paint it, but I'm sure you all are just as curious as me. I feel like these hooks might be a bit overkill. Is that overkill? Maybe a little. So there's a chance they could hook into each other. So we might have to go down to hook size. This is those are freaking monsters for this size of bait. All right, let's see if this thing swims. It sinks. Oh, folks. It swims great, and I can hear that rattle. Can burn it. If we do a nice slow, and you can hear the joints all clanking together. Oh yeah. Okay, I think we have ourselves a winner. Next video, we'll paint it, and then maybe go try to catch a fish.
Yeah. Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor.